Assalamu alaikum dear students. I'm your biology teacher here with another lecture of Zoom online class. I hope so you all are doing well and you have enjoyed your winter break. Okay, now coming to today's lecture. Today we are going to talk about chromosomes and genes. Uh, let's start with the basic concept. You all know that living organisms are made up of cell, and cell is the building block of living organism. And this cell is actually a structure inside which different organelles are present, right? There is one structure inside a cell, and that is called nucleus. You all are familiar with nucleus, that in the nucleus genetic material is present. Now as you can see in the diagram over here, there is a cell, and inside the cell you can see some colored structure. The part where the colored structure are present is actually nucleus, and actually this colored structure is chromosome. So in today's lecture we are going to talk about this chromosome, and also we will discuss about gene. Coming toward the word chromosome. If we look at the word chromosome, it is actually a combination of two words. The first one, that is chromo, means color, and the word soma means body. So chromosomes are basically colored body. They were discovered by Walder in 1876, and Walder called them chromosome because they get dye easily. They get colored easily. And they are thread-like structure which are present in the cell, in the nucleus of the cell, or we can simply call cell, because we know that in prokaryotic cell there is no nucleus. So simply we can say that chromosomes are present in cell. Now you know that there is another structure which is termed as chromatin material, and that is also present in nucleus. So the question arises, what is the difference between chromosome and chromatin material? So dear students, actually the chromosome and chromatin material, is same thing. But they are given to different name. The reason is because of their morphological appearance, because of their physical appearance. The chromosome and the chromatin material are actually genetic material, which is made up of DNA and sometimes protein, right? But the chromosome is used for the condensed coil form of genetic material, for the packed form of genetic material. And the word chromatin material is used for uncondensed, uncoiled, scattered form of genetic material. Normally the chromosomes appear in the dividing cell. When the cell is in mitosis, during mitosis or during meiosis, we can see chromosomes. While the chromatin material is visible in non-dividing cell. The cell during interphase have the genetic material in scattered form, and that is what we call chromatin material. Now coming toward chromosome. If we look at the shape or the structure of the chromosome, it is actually made up of two arms, two halves, two identical halves. Identical means two same halves, two same structures, and these are termed as chromatids. The chromatids of the one chromosomes are termed as sister chromatids, and these chromatids are attached at a point which is called centromere. As you can see in the diagram over here, the yellow part is centromere, because of which the two chromatids get attached with each other. Okay, now coming toward the chemical composition of chromatin material. In prokaryotic cell, the chromatin material is composed of DNA only. You know that prokaryotic cell are those cells which do not have any nuclear membrane. So their chromosome is made up of only DNA, and that DNA is present, or that chromosome is present in the cell, in the cytoplasm, in the nucleoid region, but not enclosed in the nuclear membrane. While in case of eukaryotes, the chromosome is composed of DNA along with the protein, and that protein is called histone protein. Molecule of DNA is wrapped around bundle of histone and make nucleosome in the eukaryotic cell. There are 8 molecules of histone protein around which DNA is wrapped. DNA, which is a thread-like structure, it is wrapped around the histone protein, and it make a structure, a round structure, that is called nucleosome. Then many nucleosome combine together and they form chromosome. So simply we can say that nucleosome is the building block of chromosome. Now look at the diagram over here where you can see chromatin, the yellow color thread-like structure present in the nucleus of the cell, the scattered form of genetic material. This is called chromatin. But if we zoom in the diagram, we can see that the chromatin is basically made up of many round-like structure, and these round structure around which some yellow thread-like structure, you can see some yellow thread-like structure is wrapped around gray round structure. The grayish round structure is actually nucleosome, and is actually histone, and around the histone yellow material is wrapped. This yellow material is actually DNA, and this form nucleosome. So many nucleosome is present over here in the chromatin material, and these nucleosome compact with each other, they coil and recoil, and their condensed form is termed as chromosome, which is made up of two arms, and these arms are termed as chromatids, and these chromatids are joined at a point which is called centromere. Now look at the diagram of nucleosome over here. You can see that there are 8 round structure. These 8 round structure are termed as histone. These are histone molecules, and these 8 histone molecules are termed as octamere. They form the core, the central part of the nucleosome. Now look at the red thread-like structure here. This is the DNA molecule. This is turned around or wrapped around the histone protein. There are 2 turns of DNA molecule, and as a result a structure is formed which is called nucleosome. And then the DNA is sealed over here with another type of histone molecule which is called H1 histone, which you can see in the green color area here. Now coming toward gene. We know that chromosome is made up of DNA and protein, but the basic material is DNA, and DNA is termed as the genetic material. So DNA is the heredity material or genetic material, and the unit of heredity is called gene. So basically DNA have different segments which are responsible for specific type of character, and that segment of DNA is termed as a gene, which determine trait or character. Like a segment of DNA which is responsible for the hair color, we will say that this segment of DNA is the gene for hair color. Like another segment of DNA which is responsible for the eye color, we will say that this is the gene for eye color. So we can define genes as segments of DNA consisting of specific sequence and number of nucleotides that has a code for protein synthesis. You all know that DNA is made up of nucleotide: adenine, thymine, cytosine, guanine, etc. So these 4 nucleotides makes the DNA, and the specific number and specific sequence of nucleotide which is responsible for a character are termed as genes. Now look at the diagram over here. You can see a cell, and inside the cell a nucleus is present where genome, genetic material, is present in the form of chromosomes. Then we know that the chromosome is made up of DNA. The chromosomes is made up of DNA. And this DNA is basically a double helical structure made up of nucleotides: cytosine, thymine, adenine, guanine, right? 4 nucleotides makes the DNA. Now look at the part of the DNA where it is written CCTT. It is a specific sequence of nucleotide, and this sequence of nucleotide is responsible for a specific type of protein, the green color protein which you can see over here. So this is a gene. Then another segment of DNA where it is written AACT. It is responsible for another type of protein, so we will say that this is another gene. Then the third gene where TTGG is responsible for another type of protein, so this segment of DNA is a third type of gene. So simply we can say the segment of DNA which is responsible for a character which code for a protein is termed as a gene. So this was all about today's lecture. Hope so you understood it. Thank you so much for listening. Stay blessed.